Hey, I'm Rolla, 33 years old, working as a marketing executive, and I've got quite the story to share about how my seemingly perfect life spiraled into chaos. 3 years ago, I thought I hit the jackpot. I met Tom at a work conference, tall, charming, with a smile that could light up a room. We clicked instantly, spending hours talking about anything and everything. But on our third date, he dropped a bombshell. He was a widower with a teenage daughter. I hope this doesn't change anything, he said nervously. I remember laughing it off. Are you kidding? I love kids. Little did I know what I was in for. At first, Lily, his daughter, seemed like the sweetest kid. Polite, all smiles. It's so nice to meet you, Rolla, she chirped the first time we met. Dad's told me so much about you. I did everything I could to bond with her. Shopping trips, movie marathons, even tried learning her favorite video game. But something always felt off, like she was wearing a mask. Sometimes the real Lily would slip through, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. Tom, bless him, never noticed. He'd beam at us, saying, "My two favorite girls getting along so well." Things really took a turn when I found out I was pregnant. Tom was ecstatic, spinning me around the kitchen, tears of joy in his eyes. "We're having a baby," he shouted. But Lily's reaction was different. "That's great," she said, but her voice was flat, and her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. I tried to include her in the excitement. "You're going to be a big sister, Lily. Isn't that amazing?" She nodded, but I caught a fleeting look. Was it resentment? Anger? It vanished so quickly I wondered if I'd imagined it. As the months went by, odd things started happening. Important messages between me and Tom would disappear. Plans we made would get mixed up, and Lily always had a convenient explanation. "Oh, Dad must have forgotten to tell you," she'd say innocently. "He's been so busy." Her best friend, Zoe, was the only one who seemed to notice something wasn't right. She'd come over sometimes, and I'd catch her giving Lily these knowing glances. One day, Zoe pulled me aside. "Rolla, you're really cool, you know? Lily's lucky to have you as a stepmom." It was a small comment, but it meant the world to me. At least someone appreciated my efforts. As my due date got closer, the tension in the house became unbearable. Tom was constantly torn between me and Lily, and I could feel myself being pushed to the sidelines. One night, I finally said, "Tom, we need to talk about Lily." He sighed, rubbing his temples. "Rolla, please. She's just adjusting. It's a big change for her." But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong. The sweet girl I first met was gone, replaced by someone who watched me with cold, calculating eyes. By this point, I was juggling work, preparing for maternity leave, and dealing with the increasing strain at home. One morning, I woke up to find Lily in the kitchen making breakfast. "Morning, Rolla. I made your favorite, blueberry pancakes." I smiled, touched by the gesture. "Thanks, Lily, that's so sweet of you." But as I sat down, I noticed Tom frowning at his phone. "Rolla, did you forget to send me the doctor's appointment details?" I blinked, confused. "No, I texted you yesterday." Lily quickly chimed in. Dad, remember? Your phone was acting up yesterday. Maybe the message didn't come through." This became a pattern. Important messages vanishing, plans falling apart, and Lily always had a perfectly timed explanation. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong at work. In the break room one day, I overheard hushed whispers. "Did you hear about Tom's new wife? Apparently she's just after his money." My heart sank. Later, I confronted my coworker Lisa. "Where did you hear that?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She looked uncomfortable, fidgeting with her coffee cup. "Oh, I think Lily mentioned something at her school bake sale, but I'm sure it's just teenage gossip." My stomach turned. Lily was spreading rumors about me. I needed to talk to someone who would understand. I called my sister, Elena. I don't know what to do," I said, my voice breaking. "It's like Lily's trying to push me out of the family." Elena's voice was sympathetic but firm. "Rolla, you need to talk to Tom. This isn't right." But every time I tried to bring it up with Tom, he brushed it off. "Honey, you're hormonal. Lily's just a kid. She doesn't mean any harm." I felt like I was losing my mind. Was I imagining all of this? Things came to a head at my baby shower. Sarah, my best friend, had organized everything beautifully, but as the guests arrived, I noticed Lily whispering to Tom's family members, who began giving me odd looks. Later, I overheard Lily talking to Tom's mother. "I'm just worried about the baby," Lily said, her voice sweet but laced with something darker. Rolla's been so unstable lately, forgetting things, getting upset over nothing. I just hope she'll be okay as a mom. Fury surged through me. I stormed over, ready to confront her. But in my anger, I knocked over a tray of cupcakes. Everyone turned to stare. "Oh, Rolla," Lily exclaimed, her voice carrying through the room, full of mock concern. "Are you okay? Here, let me help you. We don't want you getting too worked up in your condition." Humiliated, I froze. Tom rushed over, concern written all over his face. "Rolla, maybe you should lie down," he said gently. "You're looking a bit flushed." That night, I broke down in front of Sarah. "I feel like I'm going crazy. No one believes me about Lily," I sobbed. Sarah hugged me tightly. "I believe you. We'll figure this out, I promise." But before we could even begin, it happened. A sharp pain shot through my abdomen. I gasped, clutching my belly. "Sarah, I think I'm in labor." Panic set in. It was too early. This couldn't be happening now. "Stay calm," Sarah said, already dialing 911. "We're getting you to the hospital." As the contractions intensified, I tried to reach Tom. No answer. I left a voicemail, my voice strained with pain. "Tom, the baby's coming. Please, I need you." In the chaos, I caught sight of Lily standing in the doorway, her expression unreadable. As Sarah helped me to the car, I could have sworn I saw Lily pick up my phone, a small smile playing on her lips. My last thought before another wave of pain hit me was chilling. What if Tom never gets my message? What if, at the most important moment of our lives, Lily finally succeeds in keeping us apart? The drive to the hospital was a blur of agony and fear. Between contractions, I kept trying to call Tom. "Come on, pick up," I muttered, dialing over and over. Sarah glanced at me, worry etched on her face. Still nothing. I shook my head, fighting back tears. The next few hours were the hardest of my life. The physical pain was excruciating, but the emotional agony of Tom's absence hurt even more. Sarah stayed by my side, whispering words of encouragement, but I'd never felt so alone. Finally, with one last push, my son entered the world. His cry filled the room, and for a brief moment, all the hurt and betrayal faded away. "He's beautiful," Sarah whispered, tears in her eyes. I held him close, overwhelmed with love. But as the adrenaline wore off, the pain of Tom's absence hit me again. Where was he? Hours later, Tom burst into the room, his face pale and frantic. "Rolla, I'm so sorry. I just got your messages. Lily said you were fine, that it was false labor." I stared at him, too exhausted and heartbroken to respond. He'd missed the birth of our son because he believed Lily over me again. Lily trailed in behind him, her face a picture of wide-eyed innocence. "Oh my gosh, the baby's here. I had no idea it was real. I feel terrible," she said, her voice dripping with fake regret. I watched her carefully, catching the glint of triumph in her eyes. She'd won. She'd stolen this moment from us. The next few days passed in a haze of hospital visits and awkward silences. Tom was full of apologies, but I could barely look at him. Lily played the role of doting sister, fussing over the baby while I withdrew into myself. One night, after Tom had fallen asleep in the hospital chair and Lily had gone home, I confided in Sarah and Elena. "I can't do this anymore," I whispered, my voice breaking. "I can't raise my son in this toxic environment." Elena squeezed my hand. "What do you want to do?" I took a deep breath. "I want to leave. Start over somewhere new." They exchanged glances, then nodded. "We'll help you," Sarah said firmly. Over the next week, as I recovered at home, we secretly made plans. Elena found me an apartment in another city, and Sarah helped me secure a job transfer. We quietly packed essentials and moved money, arranging everything while Tom was at work and Lily was at school. The night we chose to leave, I stood in the nursery, my son asleep peacefully in my arms. Tears streamed down my face as I looked around the room we'd so lovingly prepared. "I'm sorry, baby," I whispered, "but I had to protect both of us." I placed a letter on the kitchen table, short and simple, explaining that I couldn't live like this anymore. I told Tom he had to make a choice, his daughter or his son, and that I'd be in touch when I was ready. As Sarah's car pulled up outside, I took one last look at the house. Despite everything, a part of me still loved Tom. But sometimes, love just isn't enough. With my son in my arms and my heart in pieces, I walked out the door, ready to start a new chapter. One where we wouldn't be manipulated, gaslit, or pushed aside. One where we could finally be happy. As we drove away, I whispered to my sleeping son, "It's just you and me now, little one. But we're going to be okay, I promise." The next morning, I woke up to my son's cries, the unfamiliar surroundings of our new apartment momentarily disorienting me. As I fed him, my phone buzzed nonstop. Tom had discovered we were gone. His voicemails ranged from confused to desperate. "Rolla, where are you? What's going on? Please call me back." I ignored them all, focusing on settling into our new life. But I couldn't help wondering about the chaos I'd left behind. Back at our old house, Tom was falling apart. Lily, thinking she had won, couldn't hide her smug smile. "Dad, maybe it's for the best," she said. She was always causing problems. But her victory was short-lived. Zoe, unable to bear the guilt any longer, showed up at their door. "Mr. Walker, there's something you need to know," she said, her voice shaking. For the next hour, Zoe spilled everything. The deleted messages, the rumors, Lily's deliberate attempts to sabotage our relationship. She even had screenshots of Lily bragging about her schemes. Tom listened, his face growing paler with each revelation. When Zoe finished, he turned to Lily, his voice barely a whisper. "Is this true?" Lily's facade crumbled. Tears streamed down her face as she shouted, "You were supposed to choose me and Mom, not some replacement." The argument that followed was explosive. Years of pent-up resentment and manipulation came pouring out. In the end, Lily broke down completely, admitting to everything. Tom was devastated. He realized he had lost his wife and newborn son because he had been blind to his daughter's actions. Desperate, he tried everything to find us. Private investigators, social media posts, even contacting our old friends. But I had covered my tracks well. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding my life. My new job was challenging but rewarding. I made new friends and joined a single mom support group. Slowly, I began to heal. About 6 months after I left, a letter arrived. My hands shook as I recognized Tom's handwriting. He poured his heart out, explaining everything Zoe had revealed and how he had confronted Lily. He wrote about enrolling her in intensive therapy and how they were now in family counseling together. "I failed you, Rolla," he wrote. "I failed our son. I was blind and stubborn, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But please, if you can, give me a chance to make amends. To be a father to our boy. I'll respect whatever boundaries you set. I miss you both so much." I sat there, tears falling onto the paper, conflicted. Part of me wanted to forgive him, to give our family another chance. But another part, the stronger part, remembered the pain, the gaslighting, the betrayal. I looked at my son, peacefully playing in his playpen, and made my decision. I wouldn't respond. Not yet. Maybe someday when the wounds had healed more, when I felt truly ready. But for now, we were doing fine on our own. I folded the letter and put it away. Then I picked up my son, kissing his chubby cheeks. "What do you say we go to the park, little man? The story has ended, but what would you do if you were Rolla? Should she give Tom another chance or continue her new life without him? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more stories that spark important conversations.